Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I just wanted to go over my progressive list. This is a series I hope to do about progressives who are running around the country. And so I decided that I'll start with this election cycle, of course, both for 2025 and 2026. So I'm just going to highlight some candidates here who definitely deserve your support. Um, and if you can donate, absolutely donate. So first we have Mr. Chakrabarty here in San Francisco running against Nancy Pelosi. He entered the race a couple months ago, um, and he's currently running against Nancy Pelosi. Um, he was an aide to AOC, so he's definitely a progressive, and he supports a bunch of good policies. Let's see here. He is one of the people who, during the 2020 Democratic primary, came together with the Biden campaign to try and push Biden to be a little bit more progressive on some issues after Bernie Sanders dropped out. Um, and here we can see that. Every presidential candidate either endorsed the Green New Deal or proposed climate plans that were larger than anything any president have ever proposed before. Of course, I don't think Biden did enough to deal with climate change. With that being said, he did definitely do a decent amount. 433 billion is not something to scoff at. Um, so this guy definitely has an accomplishment under his belt and would make a great representative just for that reason. But furthermore, importantly, he's running against Nancy Pelosi, and I really like what he says here. 20 terms in Congress is enough. Nancy Pelosi has been in Congress for 20 terms. These are 2-year terms. That is 40 years. This is older than the average person in the United States is. She's been in Congress for longer than that. And he's absolutely right. 20 terms is enough. We need people who represent the newer generations, and Nancy Pelosi does not. And he pushes back against Nancy Pelosi. She was a fighter who joined Congress in 1987, but she does not understand the anti-democratic, anti-constitution, and anti-American forces that we are up against in 2025. And at age 85, she no longer has the strength for the current fight. And that's absolutely true. She stepped down from being Speaker of the House. I think she should have retired then. There's absolutely no reason for her to still continue to be in Congress. She's basically just, stuck around. She hasn't done anything really since her time as Speaker. So absolutely, she needs to be primaried. She has not been using her voice for good. And in fact, this is exactly what David Hogg. She is the quintessential representative David Hogg was talking about when he ran. He was the vice chair for the Democratic Party. This is exactly what he was talking about when he said we need to primary useless Democrats. Nancy Pelosi is one of those useless Democrats. She's not running because she's here to fight again. She's here to fight the Trump administration. She's running because she can. She's got nothing else to do. 20 terms. Where is it? 20 terms. 20 terms. It's not like she didn't have enough time to get things done. She's not running so that she can continue to pass her agenda. She's running because she can. And that is entirely wrong. We need people here who are going to meet the moment. And Mr. Chakrabarty is exactly that person. Yeah, so that's him. He's running in, let's see, in San Francisco. Let's see the district. I think it says the district here. Maybe it doesn't. Yeah, but here's a little bit about him. Democratic Party needs to change. Also, Nancy Pelosi is the one who called for a strong Republican Party. I mean, she's the definition of a conservative Democrat, and she needs to go. She's been there for way too long. I think, regardless of what you believe about her politics, she's been there for 20 terms, and she's not like using her position like Bernie is. Like Bernie at 81 is still out there campaigning, still out there, you know, fighting. Nancy Pelosi is just like hidden away. I mean, she could be dead. We'd have no idea. Um, yeah. I helped lead Bernie Sanders' 2016 campaign and then launched a project to recruit and elect new leaders to Congress. One of those leaders was AOC, and we went on to serve to elect several others. Yeah, so I think he's great. I couldn't find what district he is, but whatever district San Francisco is. Okay, so on to the second one here. I said I'd get to her in the last video, and this is exactly, I'm going to get to her now. Ghazala Hashmi, running for Lieutenant Governor of Virginia. I had the privilege of being able to vote for her. She won a very close race. A very close race. And it is a damn shame we don't have ranked choice voting here in Virginia, because the election was ridiculously close. And well, let me just show you. VA oh god, you can see how terrible the word lieutenant is spelled. Lieutenant governor's race news. See if I can't. Here we go. Look at this. Oh, fuck you. Come on. Results. Washington Post. All right. Look at this. 27%. She run with 27% of the vote. And I'm glad she won. I am. But 27% of the vote is ridiculous. That is 1/4. 75% of people didn't vote for her and she won. 75%. That's what not having ranked choice voting does. And this could hurt her in November. I hope she wins. I do. But this could absolutely hurt her come November, because people might not know who she is because they didn't vote for her. And they might not like her. And while I agree that they should back her, they might not. At least a ranked choice voting system would show, you know, her popularity. Because if she won the first round, and then it only took her a couple rounds to win, to secure the nomination, well, then you would see that she's a strong candidate. But if it took her, 5, 6, 7 rounds to win, you know that you have to spend a lot of time getting people to know her and such. So I think not having ranked choice voting is definitely going to hurt whoever the Democratic nominee was for lieutenant governor. It just so happens to be Ms. Hashmi here. But as you can see, 26.6% was second place. 26.4% was third place. She did win, but she won by 4,000 votes. 4,000 votes. That's not a lot. That's not a lot. That's what? That's 0.8%. She won by 0.8%. I'm honestly surprised these people didn't challenge it, and these people didn't ask for a recount. I would have. I mean, 0.8% is insane. And 0.2%, crazy. Absolutely crazy. By the way, total upset win, too. LeVar Stoney was endorsed by everyone and their mother. Apparently, he was endorsed by, who was it? Cory Booker. I could have just made that up. I'm pretty certain it was Cory Booker, but I could be wrong. Terry McAuliffe, Ralph Northam, everyone endorsed him. He was the establishment candidate. But I'm glad that she in fact did win. And as you can see here in Chesterfield County, she did carry her home district here by quite a margin. By quite a margin, much bigger than her other margin. This guy only got 658 votes in this district. It's funny. But anyway, That's Ghazala Hashmi, and she's also fantastic. She supports the NPVIC. And if you don't know what that is, two things. It means you probably have a life, so that's good. And two, the NPVIC is the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact. I've talked about this in a previous video. National Popular Vote Interstate Compact is the sneaky plan to overrule the uh, Electoral College by using the power of the states, as stated in the Constitution, to support um, the, the electors in voting for the popular vote. And not only did she support that, she's actually the one who introduced the NPVIC into the Senate, into the Virginia State Senate. She also introduced a comprehensive abortion bill, which would legalize abortion and continue to have abortion in the in Virginia. Excuse me. Currently, there's actually an amendment going up next year, I believe, for abortion. It wasn't her bill, but it is. She's definitely fantastic in when it comes to policy. She's also very good on education policy. That was one of her big things that she championed when she first ran. She's got an issues page. Education, that's one of the things that she ran on. So Ghazala Hashmi, another fantastic progressive candidate. She was also endorsed by, where is it? There it is, the PDA. This is what I looked for in the race. This is what I looked for. The other candidates, I really didn't care too much if they won. But Ghazala, she was endorsed by the Progressive Democrats of America, and that's really, really, really important. Planned Parenthood Advocates of Virginia, Everytown for Gun Safety, a bunch of great, the Sierra Club, bunch of great endorsements here for Ghazala Hashmi. Yeah, so that's Ghazala's page. It seems she's also endorsed by Mark Warner and Tim Kaine and some other people. Jennifer McClellan. She's also Eugene Weidman or Vindeman. I don't know how you say his name. North. Oh, look at that. Northam did endorse Ghazala. I wonder if that was after she won, though. I'm not sure. This guy actually sucks. He's kind of a piece of shit. He was one of the Democrats who voted to thank ICE. Yeah, so he's kind of ass, but whatever. You know, if it helped her win, I don't care. So that's Ghazala. She's definitely fighting for Virginia. Actually using the term fighting in a sense, which is true. All right. So next we have Donovan McKinney. I actually wasn't aware of his campaign until I went to, I believe it was PDA, and I looked up the elections that they were having, and he was one of them. He was one of the candidates who was running for Michigan's 13th district. He's also very good. And he passes what I call the Medicare for All test. And I call it the Medicare for All test because if they support Medicare for All, that's what I'm looking for. You go to right here. As a former leader within the SEIU Healthcare of Michigan, I know our families cannot afford anything less than Medicare for All. Boom, right there. Policy endorsement, Medicare for All. So he is a state representative currently, or he was. So he's already in elected office. And so he's running into 13th in the 13th district of Michigan. And he, of course, was endorsed by Bernie Sanders as well as Rashida Tlaib. So he's another very solid candidate and a bunch of state senators and representatives who I'm sure he works with. But most importantly, he was endorsed by, I believe, Bernie Sanders. That's how I heard about him too, is that Bernie Sanders endorsed him. Bernie's gotta speak up a little bit. He's being a little quiet. Like, I know he's endorsing people, but he endorsed Abdul here, who we'll get into in a minute. But I didn't hear anything about it. And maybe that's just the news not talking about it. But like, he endorses a lot of people, and there are a lot of good candidates. He just doesn't. I don't hear it. I don't hear about it. He's got to have his own page. He's got to have his own page. Maybe I'll run it. But so that everyone can hear who he endorses, because this is really important. who he wants to win. Um, and especially in Arizona's seventh district, where there's two progressives running. I think I'll do a video on that too. He endorsed the candidate there, and that kind of ended up poorly. But I'm not going to get into that now. But anyway, that's Donovan McKinney, Michigan 13th. Great candidate. I mean, he's got all these priorities. He knows exactly what he's going for. Um, he's another solid person to vote for. And then next here we have Abdul. I've mentioned Abdul before. Abdul is running for Senate in Michigan, so same state. And he also passes the Medicare for All test. Priorities. Priorities. Stop moving around. Healthier America. Abdul literally. Oh my God. The donate button, dude. Abdul literally wrote the book on Medicare for All. Boom. Policy endorsement. That's great. Fantastic. Passes Medicare for All test. And Saikat, or Saikat, that's not his name. See, that's how you think it's pronounced. It's not. It's Shoikat. That's how you pronounce it. That's how he pronounces it in his videos. So that's how I'm gonna pronounce it because I'm not a dick. Um, yeah. So he doesn't have a priorities page. He doesn't have a priorities page, and if you've seen any of my videos, you know how I feel about that. But I'll give him a break because he does say a little bit down here, and he works with AOC, so you kind of already know what he's about. Okay, so he's on thin ice, but that's okay. We'll give him a pass. It's safe to assume he supports Medicare for All. He's running against Nancy Pelosi, calling her a useless dinosaur. So that's good. But anyway, back to Abdul. I'll keep the Abdul segment short because I already kind of gone over Abdul. Abdul he's running for Senate in Michigan to replace, I believe, Gary Peters' seat. And he's a solid candidate, also supported by Bernie Sanders. There you go. Also endorsed by Bernie Sanders. So that's also fantastic. Importantly, after Zoran Mamdani won, the Republicans of Michigan came out and said, if you thought Zoran's bad, wait till you see Abdul El Sayed. So they really don't want him to win. They really don't want him to win. Gee, I wonder why. Maybe it's because he's a Muslim. Maybe because it's brown, but they won't ever say that. Yeah. Definitely a better candidate compared to Haley Stevens, who's also running. She's a piece of shit. So, yeah, it seems that there's some articles down here. He's great. Very good. Definitely deserves a little bit of cash if you can throw it his way. And then finally, Elijah Manley. See, I was very surprised to learn about Mr. Manley here. He's amazing. He seems really good. Not only he's running for Congress, he ran for president with the Green Party, and he's 25. And if you know anything about the U.S. Constitution, so if you're not a Republican, basically, you'll know that Mr. Manley here cannot technically run for president of the United States on a national level because you have to be 35, and he was I think he ran when he was 17. It was just a political statement, I'm sure, but anyway, I mean, and pause, he ran with the Green Party. So this guy is a solid progressive, ran with the Green Party, not even a Democrat, ran as the Green Party member. That's important. In 2016, I believe it was. That's really cool. He's run for other offices. I don't think he's won. But Manley here has raised a shitload of money. He's raised like $200,000. So much money. And the incumbent for, I believe he's running in Florida. I believe he raised, or I believe, let's see here. What district is it first? Let's see if I can't, district. Is it going to say which district he ran in? Is he running? No? Okay. He's running in a district in Florida. I think it's the 20th district, but I could be wrong. Yeah. So he's really great, and his opponent has raised $8,000 compared to his $200,000. At first, I was suspicious. I was like, "How did you raise that much money without taking super PAC money?" But I mean, he's run before. He's progressive, and he's gotten donations from around the country. Um, so good for him. And he also, of course, has his Medicare for All test. Go to issues, healthcare, Medicare for All. Boom. Love this guy's site. I mean, look at all this, and he's just got healthcare. Healthcare goes all the way down. Look at this. Look how much he's got down here. I mean, it's crazy. This is just healthcare, and it's great. Cancel medical debt. Another great thing. Cap prescription drug costs. Fantastic. Prosecute big pharma crooks. Expand Medicaid. There it is. Florida's 20th district. More hospitals, more clinics. Home healthcare. All of the things. He's got all the things. All the things. Really, really fantastic candidate here. So definitely donate to him if you can. He's got an incumbent to beat. Um, and so does Donovan McKinney, if I'm not mistaken, also has an incumbent to beat. And of course, Mr. Chakrabarty here as a incumbent to beat. Um, and Ghazala does as well, but she's running against the Republicans, just a little different. Um, yeah. So this is my progressive list. This is my progressive highlights list here of the candidates who you should phone bank for, get emails from, donate to, talk about, uh, all the things. If you can do them, do them. Um, yeah, these are all really solid ones. So once again, I'll just go over all their names. You have Elijah Manley for Congress in the 20th district, Abdul El Sayed for Senate in Michigan, Donovan McKinney for United States Representative in Michigan's 13th district, Ghazala Hashmi for Lieutenant Governor in Virginia, and finally Shoikai Chakrabarty for San Francisco in California as a representative. So definitely make sure you go out and vote for these people or help them out how you can.